Hey everyone. Welcome and welcome back. So today we are going to do one of our learning to draw videos. It's just what I'm calling it for now because I don't have a title for it yet. So today I'm doing a trial run. And what that means is I'm just going to see, I have a little mini project set up and I'm going to walk through it with you guys. And I want to see how many people are actually going to enjoy this project. So if you are following along or if you enjoy it and you want more, I would appreciate if you hit thumbs up and you let me know down in the comments if you actually want more, okay? All right, so the goal of these projects is to get through this whole book of fundamentals of character design. Now, for me, this book is like my staple book. I reference this book for a lot of things, and it has like I did a flip through video and I talked about the sections and what it has and so on and so forth, right? So that video is up on my channel if you want to see that video before you start this one. And if you are interested in purchasing the book, I will leave the link down below so you know where to find it. All right, let's get into it. So for this trial run, I'm going to talk about the beginning of this book a little bit, and then we're going to do a little drawing exercise. So this book, when I was reading here in the how to use this book section, it says that it's strongly recommended to follow the book in order, starting with what is character design on page 10. So here we are on page 10, what is character design, and it has overview, establishing the story, and telling the story. So we're going to go through that, yeah? All right. So for the overview, right? It says great stories capture our attention and stick with us for years. So at the heart of every great story, you'll find great characters, whether they are fraught with peril or on a dangerous quest or whatever the case may be, you're going to run into a character and some kind of plot driving their story forward, right? So they have little examples here. So you have a character, she's a designer, or we are the character designer, and we have to take into account all of the different projects that we might come across, because somebody might want to come to us basically and be like, hey, I'm writing this story and I need a 80-year-old man and he's a superhero who's retired and he's plotting a mission to rob a bank, right? So now we have all that information, and from there we have to create that character, right? So right here we have he's a kid and he is designed for a 1980 mystery story. And I mean, I would definitely say 80s with those glasses, right? So it says he's curious but cautious, and you can tell that by his body language. Look, he's got his little Walkman. So each character has their own little personality thrown on them. So I'm gonna move this post-it note out of the way, and then here we have Edgar Allan Poe, and we all know him. Everybody knows Edgar Allan Poe, I should hope. So it says creating a recognizable character. So you can look at him and you can tell that it's Edgar Allan Poe. He's got the hair and the book, and you can kind of tell. You look at him and you're like, yeah, I can see Edgar. I can see him, right? So then it talks about styles over here. Let me just get some water. Hang on. So it talks about the styles over here. And, right here we have this character was designed in the spirit of Pixar. This one is designed, and it's like a French style. And then down here is like an anime style, like Japanese area. So then this page talks about memorable designs. So you can look at these characters and you're like, okay, Like this one, for instance. You can tell he's probably a villain. Look at his, you know, um, it's kind of like, it looks like, he's a villain and he's going around and he's stealing all the badges from other cowboys. And then, I don't know, maybe this guy, he's like the tough guy cowboy who's gonna take him down. And then this could probably be like his sidekick that has absolutely no idea what he's doing, but he acts tough. And then here we have different versions of cowboys. And look, there's some cowgirls, and basically just breaking outside of the norm and going outside of the box. Like a cactus, we know there's no such thing as a cactus cowboy, but why not? And then there's cowgirls. How fun would that be? So, we got green cowboys, and we got some bright and jolly ones here. So just breaking out of the normal. And then it says that we should try to avoid generic and stereotypical designs. So, you got the just, like they said, typical cowboy, you know. Um, so like they're saying, when designing a classic, cowboy in a hat, try to think outside the box. What can you do different to make your character be more memorable? So I think that is part of overview. What else is part of overview? Let's see. I don't know if it's gonna go. Okay, so what is the story? This is also part of overview. So basically, the two key components to keep in mind when designing a character are what is the story and how do I help tell it with the character. So right here they have, looks like a diva. Let's see what she is. Yep, this section will focus on designing a diva. She's a fashion designer who feels weathered and grounded in her story. So you have to consider, is she young? Is she old? Is she ambitious? What does she look like? What is she wearing? And then here it talks about, it has, a design here. And we know she's a diva. We know she's a fashion designer, but what kind of fashion designer? Stylish, creative. They have here, famous, celebrity, model, legendary, all these things you can think about when creating the character. And they just have different versions, um, of basically, it's a diva, but what kind of diva? So they have different versions. Here she seems much, much older. And, here she seems a little younger in this one. This one she seems extremely old. This one she's kind of short. So, just kind of play around with the thought in the process. So this is the next part. This is establishing a story. So we'll just focus on this, right? So for today's project, I thought we would do a baby Edgar Allan Poe. How does that sound? So I say grab your sketchbooks. I have mine right here. And if you are the type of person that likes to do research and you have like a tablet or a computer, have that handy. And this is what we are going to do. So I'm going to move this book out of the way. But if you don't have like a tablet or a computer, then the research part, your research will be kind of looking at, let's do it without the tablet here for a second. That way, for those that don't have one, here's an idea for you. You want to do research, but you don't have a way to research, right? Look at what you have right here. So what are some key things that you look at him and you go, okay, what makes him, what gives the Edgar Allan Poe vibe? So for me, I would definitely say probably the book, definitely for sure, maybe the bow tie, and probably this coat thing he has on, definitely. So, you want to kind of keep that in mind when you're drawing your baby Edgar Allan Poe, right? So I'm going to move this to the side here. I have my sketchbook and I have my tablet. So I am going to search Edgar Allan Poe. And then I'm going to go images. So here's Mr. Allan Poe. And it looks like the bow tie is a staple thing, or that thing around his neck. I don't know if you really want to call it a bow tie, but that seems to be staple. You know, the crow is staple. The mustache seems to be staple, so if you want to be funny and add a mustache on, that would be kind of cool. So, you know, when you look at them, you kind of just think about, you know, and also think about what's in the book and what you see here. So we know what he looks like roughly, so let's see if we can create a baby character of him. So I'm just going to bring up a generic image of him, one of these ones that were right at the top, and just something to look at. Okay, so it looks like his hair was kind of curly, and I'm just going to pop open here. So I have my sketchbook. Everybody have their sketchbooks. Everybody's ready, and you can grab whatever material you want. And let's jump into creating our baby Edgar Allan Poe. So I'm gonna write here, right up here, I'm just gonna write baby Edgar Allan Poe. And that way I just know that, you know, when I go back into my sketchbook, you know, I can say this was a project, you know, we did together, and so on and so forth. You don't have to write that part, but I am. Okay. So when I think baby, I think like, I kind of think big head. I don't know why, but I think like big head. So I'm just going to draw kind of just a, you know, and then I'm thinking the body should be small, of course. So maybe like, you know, maybe about that big. And then the legs, I'm thinking, are probably just, I don't know, he's sitting there and he's got his little feet. But everything is small in comparison, so, and compared to his head, and then, you know, his arms. And I'm just drawing out the pattern of the body. So I kind of want him about that big. I want his head to be exaggerated. So we said the book was definitely something that kind of, you know, and then we see he has curly hair. I don't think that's how you spell curly, but that's okay. He's got the curly hair, and then I say bow tie, and the coat maybe. And I'm just writing things down that kind of, so it can be there. And also maybe I'll add a book or two. Now when I think about these things, I go, okay, so we have I already wrote down book. So we have his accessories, right? And I'm like, okay, what's his personality like? So maybe he's a happy baby. Maybe he's not quite, you know, lost his mind crazy yet. So maybe I'm thinking a happy baby, maybe playful. And remember, this is our character, so, you know, you can make yours just like mine, or you can make yours like yours. And I mean, it is your character, so if you want to make him crazy already as a baby, then go for it. You can make him grumpy, you know, that's an option. Okay, so I'm gonna make mine happy and playful, but there are other options. And then we know we want him to have a big head. And then maybe all right, so that's what we have going on. So I'm thinking maybe he is, and I'm just gonna draw, let me see. First of all, let's draw a book. Let me just make sure that I know how to draw a book, because this book kind of looks a little weird, but it's a book nonetheless. You can tell it's a book, I hope. Okay. Right. Okay, and then let's see what else. The bow tie thing, it was kind of like, it was oddly like wrapped around his neck, kind of. It was almost like, it was kind of weird. It was more like one of these type of things where it's not really a bow. Like, you know, it wasn't like one of these type of bow things where it's like you have the bow and the thing in the middle like that. It wasn't one of those. It was kind of more like a bandana type of bow. So it was kind of like that, more so than that. And then, and we know he has curly hair, so maybe we'll just give him like a couple curls, and we'll see. Because he's a baby, so we don't want too many curls. But, you know, we don't want him looking weird either. But, all right, so, and then maybe we'll give him like a little pencil mustache. All right, so here we go. So while you have your ideas down, then you can start doing thumbnails. Or if you're not quite sure just yet, you can continue on, like maybe you don't want a big head and you want the head kind of a normal size, and you know, you want to put him in his pamper and he's just sitting, hanging around in his pamper, and you know, I don't know, how do you draw a pamper? I guess like that, right? Okay, and then, you know, maybe he's playing, and he has crab arms right now, but you know, you're just trying to get a general idea. And another thing I noticed, in the picture in the book, they gave him kind of big ears, and I thought that was cute. So maybe we'll give him like some big ears, and then we can maybe give him a couple curls, maybe not like a lot. So we'll like give him some curls, and you know, we don't want him to look too old because he is a baby, and some babies have a lot of hair, but you know, right? So this is how ideas come into fruition, guys. Or maybe he's crawling. We can have him crawling. So, you know, you can kind of figure out how you want him to be crawling. Maybe he's looking for something. I don't know. He could be looking for his book. But let's say he has on the little coat and it's like dragging on the floor. Maybe while he's crawling. Yep. Something like that. I'm not really sure which direction his feet would be going, but you know, we'll give him his one little curl at the top. And you know, he's crawling, we don't know where he's going, and then we'll give him the big ears. And maybe some wide eyes. Maybe he's like super happy. He's on a mission. Okay. So what I think though, for me, I think I want him sitting, and I think I want him chewing on a book, right? So he's sitting, and oh, I don't know how I just drew that foot. Okay, he is sitting, and I think I want him like chewing on a book. So we'll have the book here, or maybe it'll be an open book and he's just nibbling on it. I don't know. How would you chew? How would you show a baby chewing on the book? Okay, and we'll just get like some drool or something, right? So he's got the book and it's open, but he's nibbling on it some kind of way, and he's holding on to it, and he's chewing on it rather than reading it. And it's like wet. It's totally wet and drenched. And maybe we'll put him in his little coat. So the coat will be like kind of maybe behind him. Maybe it'll go over his foot, right? So you got the coat and it's really long, but he's still in his pamper, right? So we'll draw the pamper, but we'll also draw the coat. And I feel like maybe it'll be too much, but we'll see. And then the coat will be on the ground. And then maybe he's sitting on like his little play rug, and he has like his little bookshelf in the background with his little toys and books. Or maybe they're all books. Maybe he doesn't have any toys, you know. Maybe he just likes his books. And then let's give him, I feel like we should just give him one curl. Since we're gonna make his ears kind of big, and his eyes. And maybe we'll give him happy eyes. I think it looks kind of weird that way. So maybe instead of like just eyes, because he doesn't look happy enough, he looks more spooked. So let's give him like those, I'm playing in something I don't have any business playing in face, and he's chewing on the things there. Now it looks a little weird because I've already drawn the eyes, but that's okay. I'm not actually really good at drawing people, believe it or not. So we are learning together, and it doesn't have to be perfect, you know? Because let me tell you, he is looking kind of funky right now. But this is just the thumbnail. And then you might not even want to have a normal image afterwards. You might just want to, you know, keep it as a thumbnail. Sometimes I like to keep mine as a thumbnail. I don't like to always, you know, keep mine and make everything into a final image. You don't have to. It's a sketchbook. So there's his coat, and we'll put like some little buttons on it. And so you see, I didn't even use the tie, but you know, I do want to add the crow. I have no idea how to draw a crow, but I do want to add it. Or maybe it can be like a crow stuffed animal and it's on the floor. Or we can just have a crow, like, let's say we draw like a window, right? And we have like the crow and there's the window. Maybe like not a 4-panel window because you won't be able to see the crow, right? Not very good anyway. So maybe we will do a crow teddy bear. Because I feel like if I do just like a regular window here, it would look weird. So let's do the 4-panel windows, and then we can just do like a weird crow kind of stuffed animal crow. Something for him to just, you know, or we can make it like a pool toy. You know, like one of those ones with the string. Right? So let's go on over to the other side and let's see if we can. And I think I want to do this in regular pencil just so I can erase what I need to erase, because the red one is a little hard to erase, and it might be a little hard for you to see as well. So let's do that. Let me grab a pencil and let's see if we can make some magic here. And again, you don't always have to make it magic. It's a sketchbook. I'm just, you know, if you are proud of your drawing, though, go for it. Let me tell you, because you never know what you're going to make. So I'm going to move my cup because it's creating a shadow. Okay. So we got Baby Edgar Allan Poe here, and I'm going to make it a bit bigger just in case. Maybe I want to color it, or maybe we want to, you know, add more details. All right. So he's going to be in the center, though. So I'm just going to start with his little head there. I hope make sure you guys can see. And I'm going to do the same thing I did over there. I'm going to draw the body first, just so we know where the body is. And then the giant book. This is just how I draw things. I'm sure, you know, like I said, everybody's character, I would hope, would look different. Okay, he's holding the book, right? So we're just gonna, and you don't even have to draw fingers. Notice I didn't, by the way. You know, you draw what you want to draw. Let's make his body a little bit. Okay, there we go. So we got the book. The book is right there. So now let's do his coat. We got to make sure we have room for the coat. And, you know, and then his little legs are going to go because he's playing. So got his little feet and his little chunky legs. And then got to make sure we got his little pamper here. And then his other little chunky leg, right? And again, I am not the best. Oh, that is a very small leg, right? We got to make it a little longer, just as long as the other one. I'm not the greatest at drawing people, so we are learning together, which I thought would be cool. If you guys don't mind learning together, I hope you don't. So we got this little pamper, and we'll draw like, you know how they have like those little pins on it, right? So we'll say the pins is holding up his little pamper. So we got his little coat, and it's longer than it should be, so we'll just we got the buttons, and right? So he's got a really long coat going on here. And then this side will have the buttons. And then that side has like the things here. So I think if we just like make his lips like he's kind of chewing on it. He doesn't have any teeth, I assume, so he's just chewing on the book. And then when we color it, or if we color it, if we wanna, we gotta make sure that this is wet because he's chewing on it. So everything is wet. The whole poor book is just wet, right? So it could be like an ABC book or something. All right, so then we got the ears. Don't forget his ears. And remember, we want him to be very happy, big happy face. And his nose. And I'm just gonna leave his head round because, you know, he kind of looks like a walrus, but that's okay. We will give him, let's give him his curl. And honestly, I feel like maybe if we add a couple more curls, then we should be all right. Just a few. I thought originally I wanted him just kind of almost bald, but no, let's give him some curls because he has curly hair. We'll give him a couple. His hair was kind of bushy curly, so in the picture. So we'll give him that. And then we'll give him like, you know, those little things where, and I feel like his nose should be kind of almost non-existent really because, okay, so I feel like we should have him kind of like, I don't know, this mouth is weird looking now that I'm looking at it. So maybe we should just have him smiling. And I don't like having weird, because if we do it like this, we can probably put in that bow tie that he has. Kind of make it look like he's reading. And the bow tie is like, so maybe the book doesn't have to be wet. Maybe he's like really smart already. Not quite crazy yet. So he's got his little bow tie and he's reading his book. Now that looks more like him. And then maybe we can have him like, he's got like a cheesy smile on his face. He's happy Edgar right now. And so we have the bookcase back here. Ooh, what if instead of the bookcase, right? Maybe we can have, I like the curl idea. So I'm gonna make this, instead of the bookcase, I'm gonna do a window, right? And I might still do the bookcase, but I'm gonna do a window, and it's a big window. And we'll have like and I know it was only one crow, but what if we add more than one crow? And they're just like watching them. You know what I mean? So I don't really know how to draw crows, so we're just gonna draw, you know, maybe they're just like hanging out and they're looking at them. What do y'all think? Or maybe not. I don't know what I was thinking. I like the bookcase idea better. I mean, we can still do a window. Maybe not a big window like that, because that would be a lot of crows. So we'll do the split window thing. So I'll split the window off here and here. And then maybe we'll just have like a big play mat. He's sitting on his play mat, and we'll add the crow teddy bear. Should we do a big one? Maybe it's kind of like plushy. How would you draw a plushy crow? Maybe we'll give it like a fluffy tail kind of type of thing, and the feet will be kind of like that. I don't know. It doesn't really look like a crow. And then we can add maybe like some stitching. So they know, like, oh, okay, it's a teddy bear. We'll add some stitches. And then we'll make the nose kind of rounded. And that'll be his little crow teddy bear. We'll draw another foot. I like his smile better than that other one. Okay, so let me just clean this up a little bit. Because he's got his book, his bow tie, and his coat. So he's got his little pamper. So I think, and let's just look at us creating characters, guys. Like, we took this and we took the idea and, you know, we was like, okay, let's make a baby Edgar Allan Poe from the one that they made in the book. And I think he turned out kind of cute. And all we did, and it's just a pencil sketch. You can go further and, you know, ink it, and let's give him a few more curls. You can go forward and ink it, and you know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be like final if you don't want it to be. So I can keep going and going, and you can even like give him eyebrows, just a few, but don't make him, like I said, look too old, because he is a baby. And we'll give him a swirly belly. So let's do that. And then look, we didn't even give him hands. And I mean, we can give him like a thumb if we wanna. I think his thumb is on the inside. Yeah, we can give him thumbs. So look at him. Isn't he cute? And we don't even have to refine the background. We gave him like some windows. And then we can give him, if we want, we can give him a stack of books. Like a stack of like baby books or something. I don't know. So let me know, guys. What do you think? Do you like this idea of our little project that we're doing? Or do you just, you know, enjoy watching me do it? Are you following along? You know, let me know. We're going to put a crow on the ABC book. So I think the only way that, for me, I feel like we would know that it's like a crow is if, let's put a ball in the background too. Is if like, you know, we don't, I don't know if I like the ball idea, but it's a baby. He's in a playroom, you know? Okay. So it looks a little different from our sketch. I feel like I still want to add the little pull string, just so we know that it's a toy. I feel like the pull string should still be there. Okay. So that's our baby Edgar Allan Poe. And you can even put it here. You can put it down below, so you know. You could just put baby Edgar, you know. How cute. Look at him. So if you guys did follow along, I really want to know, and I know a lot of you are probably like, oh, I'm not an artist, I don't know how to draw, I don't know this, I don't know that. Let me tell you, I don't know how to draw people, so I'm learning with you. And even if you don't know how to draw and you want to learn how to draw, maybe you color and you want to start coloring your own stuff, you can start with this here. So if you're following along, like I said, I'm gonna put the link down. This is just kind of a trial project, and I want to see how many people will follow, how many people are actually watching, and then from there, I'm actually looking for my thing, so as I talk, I could at least ink this guy in. From there, you know, I can decide, like, okay, this many people is, you know, enjoying it, this many people is watching, this many people hit the like button, so that means, you know, they're enjoying watching, and I'm not just, you know, I mean, I'm having fun doing it. So for me, it'll just be a matter of if I am going to film it for you guys or if I'm just going to do it by myself. because I am going to go through the book and I am going to still do it. So if you want to follow along and you don't have the book, it is, I believe it's still on Amazon, but if not, 3D Total Publishing has a website, and I will link them both down below just in case, and just in case they're not there. And I know you guys are like, how is she inking this? But it's a sketchbook. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just something that, you know, we're learning to do. It's a trial run. I think he turned out rather cute because look at that smile. It's the smile for me. That's probably my favorite part of it. He's so happy before he went crazy. So, you know, if you are enjoying it, like I said, just let me know. And if you're not, let me know. You know, if it's something that you feel that, you know, you're not interested in, let me know. That way I can actually kind of gauge, like, okay, this many people are interested, this many people aren't interested. You know, if you are part of my Patreon or wanna be, that link is always down in the description as well. And then I can just do something like this for my Patreons. But the goal of this, going through this book, is because, you know, some of you want to draw, some of you are artists and don't know how to draw people like me. Some of you, you know, like for me, I eventually want to be a children's book illustrator, or, you know, maybe not even a whole book, maybe just, you know, some images or cover images. You know, I don't really know which one I want to do. I would love to do my own book, but we will see how that goes, because, you know, I'm enjoying art. I love art. I love drawing, but I also like coloring. So I do a lot of different things. So, you know, some of you are here for just coloring. Some of you are here for just drawing. Some of you are here for both. Some of you are just here to hear me ramble and don't care what I do. This leg turned out fatter than this one, but that's okay. You know, so it really just kind of lets me know who's here for what and so on and so forth. And then look, so how we have him lined, right? If you want to line everything else in the background, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. For me, I'm gonna have him lined, and then I think everything in the background, I'm just gonna, whatever color I'm gonna color it, I'm just going to, you know, do it that way. Just the colors. That way the background can be kind of just, you'll see. Once I show it in my final, what do you call it? My next week upload, weekly art vlog. There we go. Losing my words. So here we started with some ideas. You know, I wanted mine happy and playful, and he looks pretty happy. I've got the book, the curly hair, the bow tie I even managed to fit in there, and the coat. You know, I think he turned out probably a little bit older than a baby just by his hair, but some babies have hair, so it's okay. I like it better than this one. This one, something about it didn't seem, I think it was the lips that was probably a little weird, but I made his leg fatter than the other one, but that's okay. I think it turned out rather cute. So just an overview. We're gonna bring our book back, and what we looked at, we basically looked at the overview of character design, and we took Mr. Allan Poe here and we turned him into a kid, a baby. And then another thing we could have done, we could have put him in a chair. You know, there's so many things. We could have gave him a feather pen. I thought the feather pen is, you know, I don't think he's old enough for that, so I didn't give him that. We could have did the book on a strap. It's so many different ideas that you can come up with just to create your own baby Edgar Allan Poe character. So in the next one, And I kind of did mine. I guess mine would be, if you had to choose which style, I would say he's kind of borderline on the anime style. I think he would fit in an anime. But you know, I think he's memorable. I think so. The little crow is gonna be cute when we color it, or when I color it. You know, if you really want to go further, we could have done like the wheel here, and we could have done like, you know, all of that, so on and so forth. But this is just a break-in project. So next we will be building a character, basically establishing the story. We'll do that on the next one, and we're just gonna take it bit by bit. So you know, you definitely have time to get the book if you don't have it. I will put the link down below, or you can just follow me and while I show you my book. But we will do it together regardless, if you guys are up for it. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.